Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Android Authority. My name is Daryl Doak, and this is our review for the Motorola CLIQ on T-Mobile. The CLIQ is a direct competitor to Verizon's Droid 2, Sprint's EvoShift 4G, and T-Mobile's own G2, in that they are all landscape QWERTY sliders. They have approximately the same screen size of 3.7 inches and lack a front-facing video camera. We're going to do a quick overview of the device, and then we're going to get to the user experience, really the pros and cons of using this device on an everyday basis. The CLIQ has an all-plastic body. It has a chrome bezel around the front, as well as a stylized back to increase grip and increase style. The top of the device has a power button, as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack. The left side has your charging port and an LED notification light to tell you that the charger is plugged in. The bottom has a little hidden microphone port right there. The right side of the device has a volume rocker, a silence switch, and a 2-stage camera button. The rear of the device has a 5-megapixel camera and a dual LED flash. This video camera, however, only does 720 by 480. It does not do 720p like most handsets. There are 2 speaker ports on the back. Here on the front of the device we have 4 touch capacitive buttons in a standard layout, a 3.7-inch display that is FWVGA at 854 by 480. On the top left there is a proximity sensor and light sensor. On the top right corner there is an LED notification light. One of the only issues I have with the CLIQ is that the recessed earpiece tends to collect pocket lint like the CLIQ XT did. This device supports a 10.1 megabit down HSPA, as well as having a 5.76 megabit upload speed. In reality, I did notice a 4 to 5 megabit download speed, as well as a 1.5 to 2 megabit upload speed. The 4-row QWERTY keyboard is pretty nice with its raised honeycomb design. It does seem a little small though, with a lack of usage of this half-inch space on each side, but that area is used for the slider. The slider on the CLIQ is very nice and gives you a lot of confidence in its design. The battery uptime of the device is pretty good. If left in standby, it lasted easily a few days. If I was using it lightly, I would only have to charge it once in the evening. If I was using it heavily, I would have to go to a charger at least once in a day. One of the issues I did have with this device that might be my review unit is a non-responsive power button. If you pull the battery from the device, you have to hold this button for 5 seconds in order to reboot it. And it sometimes would not detect that I was pushing it. One of the features the CLIQ does lack is touch to focus. The only way to focus is with the 2-stage camera button, so some of your pictures are going to be out of focus if you're trying to focus on certain areas of the screen. Web browsing on the CLIQ was pretty fast, even with flash enabled. As you can see, pinch to zoom works pretty good, as well as double tap to zoom. One of the features I do like is using the shift button. That is the way you copy to your clipboard. And then in a situation of where you're going to paste, you touch and hold, say paste from clipboard, and there's a history of everything that you have copied recently. Another feature I found pretty cool was if you're viewing your bookmarks in thumbnail view in landscape, they're on a carousel. However, if you go to portrait, they go back to list view. Another cool feature I thought was if you add a shortcut to a bookmark on your desktop, it's actually a little thumbnail of the website itself instead of being an icon of a bookmark. Another feature that is cool while web browsing, you can hit the menu button, hit more, and hit save page, and you can actually save a copy of a web page to your SD card for later viewing. One of the things I didn't really care for was the unpredictability of sometimes if the device was lagged out, these touch capacitive buttons, if you touch them, haptic feedback wouldn't kick in because the device was so lagged. And so I'd end up double clicking it, which opened up a different application instead of just bringing you to the home screen, or it would bring you to the home screen, and then when you hit the home button a second time, it would pop up the application tray. The device does come stock with 7 desktop screens, which is quick navigatable by this little navigation bar. Navigating on the CLIQ did work out very good. The location was found very fast upon inputting a new address, as well as the speaker was able to be heard over road noise and a stereo on medium volume. Now going into the settings of the device, there are a few things that are pretty nice. One of them is battery manager. It's It's able to change your sync settings in order to save some of your battery power. Another thing that is interesting here in the settings menu is that in the call settings, there's a voice quality option, which essentially changes the way the voices are heard through the earpiece. Another feature here in the display settings is in-pocket detection, which uses the proximity sensor to detect when it's in your pocket and allow it to not be accidentally unlocked. Not all devices have it, but if you go on location security, this does have a digital compass that you can calibrate in order to assist with augmented reality apps as well as navigation. A feature that assists on multitasking is if you go into applications, you can change what double tap on home does. It normally comes with doing nothing, it's set on none. I set it up to Gmail, so when you double tap on home, it brings you straight to the Gmail application. Being that the CLIQ goes with all touch buttons and has no physical end button, another option is going into accessibility. You can set it up so the power button ends your calls. One thing I was curious about with the Motorola CLIQ was how many touches this touchscreen was able to support at one time. This one is maxing out at only 2 touches. In comparison, the MyTouch 4G is able to do up to 4 touches. And so in an application later on that supports more than 2 touches on the multi-touch screen, the CLIQ is only able to do 2 versus the MyTouch 4G's 4. An application that was pretty nice was this Motorola phone portal. And here you're able to connect to the device using the IP address in a web browser, and then you're able to open a file manager window in order to copy files to and from the device, as well as manage contacts and things like that. One of the bonuses I did find in the CLIQ series and MotoBlur was using their visual voicemail that's built in. You are able to listen to your voicemails over your mono Bluetooth headset, which you cannot normally do with T-Mobile's visual voicemail application. Thanks for checking out our in-depth review on the Motorola CLIQ and the user experience with the device. Make sure to check back with us at AndroidAuthority.com.